Casey.
How we doing?
Girl, I'm just making it through another day here on Wednesday, May 14th. Feels like it's been ages since I saw you. It was like an hour ago.
Like honestly, 45 minutes ago.
We look the same, just in
Yep.
different
I
environments.
put my hair up in a bun because it was way too messy for a Facebook Live.
You look awesome, I must say.
Thank you. I got my little computer light here. I find that that's
I was wondering what was giving you that
that
luminescent
glow.
glow.
Yeah, I can actually have it set on different like tints. So I think this one makes me look a little tanner.
Wow, you're gonna have to send me the link to that.
Amazon, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do. I didn't fix my hair or put on my laptop light, but I do have still some chest pains from that coffee I had a couple hours ago.
When they put triple espresso in there.
Just feeling constricted. You know that sensation?
Oh yeah, I believe that's just an inappropriate dose of caffeine.
Yeah. Well, I've been backing off actually. You and I both, we really love our caffeine.
Yes,
We love a coffee beverage.
it's
I think that a lot of our friends here can relate. And I've actually like unintentionally been backing off my daily caffeine dosage. And it does make me feel better. And I find that I don't crave a coffee in the afternoon, which is cool. I save money too. But today it's a rainy day, and I was like, you know what? I want that cappuccino. So.
because it's good to kind of just like pick you up, mood wise, not even energy wise. Just like I'm looking forward to this, and I want them to draw a heart on the top, and that's gonna be the best part of my day.
You get it. It's a pick me up. It's a mood boost, and you get a little treat. And sometimes they heat up that cookie like they did today.
Today, uh-huh.
Come on. Who's
So
joining
yeah,
us? We got Arlene and Leah and Julia, Susan, Hopi. Katie's here. Mark is here. So many of our good friends are joining us, Casey.
I know this is awesome. What's up, guys? How we feeling? It's the whole squad. Okay, we have some questions that were asked ahead of time here, but I want to encourage as we kind of go back and forth. Any questions you guys have, throw them in the chat. All
Yeah.
right. We've maneuvered away where, Coach KC can actually see the chat now. She's technologically sound.
Woo.
There goes my refrigerator alarm.
Oh my gosh, I can't even hear it. Is there a ghost in your
But if
apartment?
you can hear it, let me know, and then I'll have to get up and turn it off. But
Okay.
otherwise,
No,
we're
yeah, you're good. You're good for now.
all right.
Um, so yeah, this is really exciting, honestly, because not only are we talking about 4 week fast track heat wave, which was a super fun program to film and a really fun photo shoot to do because we had more fun than usual.
Yeah.
But this is also fun because I can't remember the last time that you and I did a Facebook Live together.
I don't think we have
No.
in all of our years. I do not think we've done a Facebook Live together.
I think it was intentional, honestly,
I
because they were
think
like,
there was a reason.
yeah, they were like, we can't put them together. It'll just be too silly.
Yeah, and you know what? We're proving them right so far.
Yeah, yeah, we are. Hey, I want to point out that I hung up a shelf.
I saw that on one of your Instagram stories. Look at that. Are those pictures next to it also new?
No, the pictures were there, but I always feared that like there wasn't enough room for the shelf, so I kept everything in a basket. But I got tired of the basket and I was like, I want to clean it up. So I put the shelf up and it ended up straight, which is
The
nice. It's
perfect
level.
amount of room.
And yeah, I feel like it actually like complements the pictures and the tonal, and I feel really proud of it.
It looks awesome.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
inspo. I'm gonna snapshot it with my eyeballs here.
Yeah, please do. Never
Um,
forget this picture.
Arlene just said I'm not doing heat wave, but tuned in for you ladies. Well,
That's our girl right there.
well, I hope that it's worth it.
Me too. Me too. Guys, thanks for the kudos on the shelf. I appreciate it. I'm really trying my hand at. Handiwork. You see what I did there?
Yeah. Um, hey, should we get into this question from Julia?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So question from Julia. Julia, I've noticed that this program has rest but no active recovery moves. Is rest better than doing active recovery moves? Great question.
Yeah, I can take this one.
Go for it.
Basically, in the past, when we have programmed active recovery, it sort of is in there as a placeholder for rest. Um, Well, there are other intentions, of course, but it's nice because you're getting your necessary rest in a set, within a set, but you're also kind of mobilizing your joints and stretching out the muscles at the same time. And it's giving you something to focus on. So you're not like sitting there twiddling your thumbs. Sometimes some people really like rest, programmed rest, and some people are like, okay, let's get on with the show here. So having programmed active recovery in place of rest just kind of like kills two birds with one stone and keeps everybody happy. While there is no active recovery move specifically programmed here, you absolutely can do active recovery during the rest period. It's really whatever you feel so inclined to do. Let your intuition guide you. There's actually like some studies that have been done on like, well, is there a benefit to stretching between loaded sets? Um, and in the long run, like sometimes there is a benefit to like strength gains, hypertrophy gains, not always. And if there is a benefit, it's pretty small. But if there's any benefit at all, why not give it a go and see how you like it? Even if it doesn't lend itself to like muscle gains, it could lend itself to just feeling a little bit more prepared for the next set. So, totally do with programmed rest periods whatever your heart desires. Um, yeah, I mean, you have a wealth of like on tonal moves and mobility moves and stretches that you can choose from, but I'm sure you also have some in your own arsenal that you should feel empowered to totally do.
Yeah. I would say that's great, Woody. I agree with all of that. Like there is no right or wrong. Or is total rest better than active rest? It's kind of just like what's your intention, right? If you are using like total rest to like scroll Instagram, that's when I might say, no, let's like stay focused in the session here. And if that involves like doing some sort of lower impact movement, I would encourage that. If you hate doing mobility on its own because it's boring and the only way for you to do sort of like a mobility active rest movement is to throw it into your rest, then I'd also encourage it then. But if you're feeling like you need to just because the rest doesn't feel productive, we talked about this a lot last month, but it is productive, especially if we're going really heavy and your heart rate's up. You give yourself some of those rest periods. Um, I actually listened, Woody, to Stacey Sims recently. I can't remember who she was on. She was on a podcast.
Hmm.
And this is something I didn't know. She said that there's a lot of research to show women actually require less rest between strength sets than men. So what I took away from that is just women are better than men.
Basically, women are superior and more resilient, tougher, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, but I think it's all because like our bodies and our energy systems are more made for endurance. So, if any of you are interested in some sort of endurance, sort of cycling, running, but are scared, know that your body's actually more made for it. Um, so yeah, so don't overthink the rests. If it feels good to rest, then your body probably needs it. If you're like could be productive and throw in some active rest movements, then do that.
100%. I relate to everything you just said. And honestly, like sometimes Julia's like, I don't get people who have their phone with them when they work out. You know what? I'm that person. And sometimes I finish a set of deadlifts and I'm like, let me just take a seat here. And then 60 seconds turns into 4 minutes. And I'm like,
Yep.
Kendall, you're just elongating your workout for no reason. Um, so there's that. Also, like, I like the idea actually, like doing a timed mobility move. Another thing you said that really I connected with was like if you find that it's hard to like get yourself to do mobility movements or do mobility at all, then doing them during rest is really productive. It's a good like compromise. So
Totally.
plus
Totally.
when the minute is up, then you're like, okay, I'm done doing this move. Time to find my feet and get back to the next set. So that's cool advice.
Yeah. Great question, Julia, as always. Okay,
As always.
we're gonna move on to Paul.
Okay, let's do it.
Paul asks, I started heat wave to accomplish the workouts. I need to replace so many of the movements. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the program. I tried reducing the weights and switching to recovery, but the movements are still a challenge. Should I continue with heat wave or should I do a different program? Paul, I think I saw you're on here. So are you in level 1 or 2 would be my first question.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'll let you weigh in here, Woody, because I just feel like you have a phenomenal answer to this. But I I would say that if you're having to change the moves because they are challenging, um, I actually have more questions and answers, honestly, to this question. I want to know, Paul, what's challenging? Okay, what's challenging about them? Is it a balance thing? Level 1, we did a lot of plyometrics.
Hmm.
It's sort of like an intensity thing. Um, let's see, I'm taking my brain back to the first 2 weeks of this programming. I'm telling you guys, I told you guys, level 1 is not easy. So, Paul, let me just tell you, it's not easy. Um, I would say stick with it, honestly. I think that my short answer, given what I know, which is not a lot, but if it's challenging, it's okay. Don't be discouraged by some of these movements feeling challenging. Um, yeah, balance and mobility. Before swapping out a move, maybe you try and turn the weight down a little bit, right? Like there might be some other options before completely swapping out a move. If it's, a single leg balance loaded movement on tonal, then, maybe you hit pause really quick and do a few reps with just your body weight so that you can kind of like groove the balance and then go ahead and hit tonal. So all this to say, like you have autonomy within these workouts to kind of tweak it, whether it's slowing it down, whether it's turning the weight down. But understanding that like feeling challenged is okay. That actually means you're getting better. So I would say stay with it. And before you think of swapping a move, think of, okay, could I actually do this and maybe just turn my weight down a little bit?
100%. Casey's advice, as always, is very sage and well informed. And my only other thought here is that, okay, what's the nature of level one? It's three hit workouts, right? So I'm not sure, Paul, if hit is something that is often in your routine, but in addition to the nature of the movements themselves, it could be the format of the programming. So like where it sounds like I'm not again, I taught level two, and from what I know about level one, there are like some contrast supersets in there, some off-tonal plyometrics. So in addition to the moves, it could also be like the interval-based nature, the pacing of the class, the kind of like metabolic conditioning aspect can be compromising because when your heart rate is elevated and you're trying to catch your breath and then you go and do a loaded movement, it feels 10 times harder. So that's another factor to consider. Like, is hit something that you feel like you have a lot of experience with, you're comfortable with doing? Is it often in your routine? Because if not, of course, you're going to feel challenged by like the shocking nature of this new okay, he just responded of this new format, but but good to know. I feel like yeah, we've thrown a lot of things here, but I mean, you're halfway through this program. I would stick with it, keep it rolling. You're doing all the right things and all the things that we would normally suggest, which is try it on try it on recovery mode, replace the movements as necessary, hit the pause button as necessary, modify the movements as necessary. Like Casey said, if it's a single leg movement, and like say it's like a single leg RDL, maybe you go kickstand instead of elevating the leg. Like feel empowered to like make some modifications as necessary for you so that you can complete these sessions and feel successful. And being challenged, again, just to echo Casey, is a positive thing. So don't let that get you down and keep plugging.
Yeah. When it comes to balance and mobility, like the main reasons that I see people struggle are everything's going too fast and they feel rushed, or it's just too heavy.
Yeah.
And those are both factors that you can actually control on tonal. And so kind of like think about, is it one of those two things? Does it feel fast? Do I need to just like take an extra beat to get in the right position? Or is this too heavy? And if it is one of those two things, then you have the autonomy to make some changes.
Yes. Paul had a follow-up question up top that asked, what are good stretching and mobility workouts before each session in the program? I do believe there's a calendar for this program. Megan and Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But there should be suggested sessions to complement this program specifically. Like that include mobility and recovery sessions, but also like everybody has their favorite go-to. And I'm sure many of our friends who are listening right now can think of one session that comes to mind that they're like, oh, I take that all the time because I just love it so much. I think it's Susan who loves Ash's. I think it's called Juice the Joints, and I could completely be making that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Um, and then there's another one by UKC that comes up all the time in my challenges. I think it's a cool down. But like I see these sessions that are like popping up all the time because when you find the thing that you love, you just keep coming back to it because it feels good for you. So Juice the Joints. Yeah, Susan loves Juice the Joints. Um, um, so yeah, find like that, just scroll through the mobility and recovery library and pick something, give it a go, and maybe that's going to be like totally your bag, and that's how you warm up for every session. But we're always adding to those libraries, so always new, exciting, good stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, find things. My favorite warm-ups are things that really kind of address the hips, spine, shoulders. Can we get those things juiced up and ready to rock and roll before we throw some heavy weights around? So if you don't have a specific class that you like start shopping and start figuring out, okay, which class hits the hips, spine, and shoulders in a way that makes me feel prepped and ready to lift.
Yeah, shop around for the thing that's going to juice your
Wow.
joints the most, dude.
Yeah,
Julia said there are so many great ones. And you know what? Julia is our in-house workout reviewer. So if you need a suggestion, Julia's got it.
for real. For real.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Susan said duration helps a lot. You can pick 15 minutes or less, and there are warm-ups separate from recovery and mobility when you filter. That's so true. It doesn't have to be recovery or mobility. You can just do, there's also a separate like warm-up category or modality, if you will. Cool.
Great point.
Oh my gosh, look at you guys coming through with all these suggestions.
It's awesome. I love it. You guys are so cool.
What else
Um,
do you want to know? What other fun insights can we share? How can we spill the tea here in a way that we're not supposed to?
yeah. What do you want to know, everyone?
Yeah, I love to break the rules, dude.
I feel like Chopper's never on these lives.
I know, I feel extra special, to be honest.
Me too. Um, well, we'll give it a minute or two. Otherwise, we'll start to wind down here.
Yeah.
What are we? We're coming out of week 2. Any hints?
Oh, yeah. I actually have another live on Monday. It's an info session for the June challenge. feels like I just did a challenge. I did the challenge in March, and that was a super fun one. It was a 3-day week program, and this coming program in June is very different. It's 5 days a week, and we're gonna build a lot of muscle over 4 weeks. So if you're gonna be coming off of a 4-week fast track or 12 weeks to jacked or literally anything else, it's going to be a good one. Hypertrophy Woody will be leading the charge in this challenge.
Luke,
Paul,
goody.
Paul, basically you're in a challenge right now. So 4-week fast track is a challenge in the main OTC. Uh, um, because the 4-week fast track is a multi-coach program and so many friends get involved and engaged with those programs. I think there's 3, 4 of them that come out a year, Casey. I think we do 3 now. Um, but also most months when there isn't a 4-week fast track, there is a separate community challenge. So it's like a separate group and you can join that Facebook group. It's like an offshoot of the OTC. So everybody's engaged in the same program and everybody's supporting each other and posting their progress. And it's really fun and cool. And there's like some unique special posts that the coaches do. Um, so yeah, it's kind of like a VIP group for the month.
Well said.
Hey, thanks.
VIP group for the month.
Yeah, baby. Are you going to join me, Casey?
Um, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention and read Allison's message, which
It's
is
okay. I'll be happy if you're just a lurker, as Leah has coined the term lurker for for challenges, which I really like because I welcome all lurkers. So, Paul, in June, if you just want to join and be a lurker, I'm down. Um, you just come in and you contribute to the conversation, but you don't necessarily have to do the program. Oh my God, Leah, so many hip thrusts, but there are never enough.
never enough.
I'm up to doing hip thrusts 3 days a week now.
Allison, my heart is full reading your message. Focus on what you can and not what you can't do. Heck
Love
yeah.
that.
That's and think about that. Like for those of you who are struggling with, some of these programs, again, like finding them challenging, first of all, you're not alone. But second of all, like use training as a way to kind of like see the rest of your life, right? Okay, well, if this move is challenging, like what can I do? Rather than focus and honing in on what we can't do. I'm so happy, Allison, that you got cleared. Let's go. 4-week fast track here. Okay, be careful with some of these, plank variations. That's all I have to say. Just take your time there. Awesome. Sorry, Woody, I just interrupted you, I think.
No, you came in hot with some heavy inspiration.
All
Love when you
right.
wax poetic.
That's what I do. What I do.
Have you thought about what you're gonna have for dinner?
No, but I will say that when I got home, I was so ravenous that right before this call, I'm low on food and groceries, but I had some leftover rice from
Good.
an Indian food meal I had recently,
Uh-huh.
and I just crushed that white rice
Just
right
plain
before
rice.
it's all I had. I needed some sustenance before this. So
Yeah.
I did to maybe put some like vegetables in my body later.
Oh, that sounds good. Like maybe a green thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything, some protein. How about you?
I am actually going out of town tomorrow, so this is like a clean out the fridge moment. I
Ooh.
have um I have some taco meat and
Hey,
but no more taco shells.
what did you make the other day where you wanted tacos and some pasta?
Yeah, yeah. You will be blown away by this. Okay, I wanted tacos. I also wanted pasta. So I made taco pasta.
I saw that. You think I don't see things, but I saw that and it stuck with me.
Like, honestly, so good. And it's so simple. Ground turkey, taco seasoning, some shallots, some garlic. I threw some tomatoes in there. some diced green chilies, and then like a little chicken bone broth. It sounds random, but bone broth, period.
Oh, bone broth and anything elevates.
Yeah, and it like makes like a little sauce, and then I threw rigatoni in because rigatoni is really the only way if we're talking noodles.
Being real.
And
Yeah.
like, wow, okay, it'll blow your mind,
Wow.
blow your mind.
Maybe I'll do that tonight.
Katie had a burrito and two chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Fucking protein, Katie. Okay, she's hitting her macros today.
Joe would be proud.
Joe
Joe's
would be
probably have
so
like
proud.
1,000 grams of protein and it's not 7 p.m. yet.
Guys, I will tell you this. We did this like basically how to be a comedian workshop today. We've been doing a lot of team workshops lately, and it's really cool. It's good for us to spend fun times together, but it's also fun to see our teammates in like uncomfortable positions. Trying to be funny and trying to do something that we're like not like well conditioned at doing. But Joe was really in his bag.
Yeah.
Joe is in his
It
bag.
took
He
him a
was,
little while to get into it, I would say. Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
started slow, but then
yeah,
he really found himself. I think
yeah. He did. He really found himself.
once his jokes started becoming about like food, he really just like he found himself.
Yes. So basically, what's going to happen is all seven of us are going to start being a lot funnier in class. And when you notice, guys, we want you to like give us a nod, send us a wink, say, hey, we're picking up what you're putting down because we
Yeah,
need to know that it's working.
yeah. We need to know. Please keep us updated in the OTC. Like Casey made me giggle today.
Yeah.
That looks good for me, okay? The funnier I am, the better we do.
Casey always makes me giggle, though.
We make each other giggle. We're the
Yeah.
giggle squad.
That's
Hopefully they
my
put us together to do this again. I wonder if they'll I feel like we were pretty productive though.
I think we hit so many boxes
Yep.
and then some. And I I personally feel proud of us.
Me too. I'm always proud of you, honestly.
You're gonna make me cry.
We're going from happy to emotional. We do.
All right,
Uh, all right. Well, if we have
wrap.
no more questions. Oh, is there more arrow coming out? Yep, there is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually have exact details to spill on that. I would if I did, but there is. There is more arrow coming down the pipeline.
More of everything, actually. So much that it's that you're gonna be like, this is too much. How could I possibly choose?
I'm just gonna have to do it all.
Yeah. And Julia has to do it all as the in-house reviewer because without her reviews, we don't have a reviewer.
Exactly. They're awesome. They're so, Julia, that's helping more people than you think just by like taking a peek and because it's hard, right? Some of these like off-tonal modalities when you can't see what's coming, you're just like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know what's coming, right? So
Yeah.
it's cool. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And also, like I said, there's so much content. It's hard to get to all of it. So I think Julia helps us filter in a new way.
Agree.
Guys, thank you all so much for showing up.
Appreciate you guys. Let us know if you have any questions. Be on the lookout for Woody's challenge. Week 3 of Heat Wave gets hot. Okay, especially in level 1. Trust me, I remember coaching it and being like, oh. But remember doing hard things is good for you. Okay, so don't get discouraged. Just focus on what you can do rather than what you can't.
That's the biggest takeaway from this very session right here. I'm actually writing it down.
Okay, right. Yeah, maybe get it tattooed on your.
I might. And under the quote, I'm actually gonna do hyphen KC.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Do
have that tatted too.
it. You better. Better.
Okay,
Well, we're gonna peace out.
we're gonna go now.
We're gonna say bye.
Love you, OTC. See you on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.